Oh, here we go. Charles Shearer was an opium fiend. He was caught in opium dens in 1894, charged with smoking opium, charged with disturbing the peace in 1884, 1891. His father was a racehorse proprietor of the Union Racehorse racetrack in San Francisco, and he was a jockey also. In 1855, his father was the proprietor of the Cottage Stables, which was right across from Agricultural Park, where Boulevard Park is today, down at 21st and 20th and G area. And Charles Jr. was actually banned from riding horses for a while for cheating. It doesn't give details, but it says fraudulent driving and conduct unbecoming a gentleman. Interfering with a horse for the purpose of preventing it from winning a race, which could be anything. Maybe he was messing with the horse's drugs or his foot, or just holding him back at the end. Who knows? He tried to get back in. Took him a while. Senior, his father committed suicide with a gun in 1886, smothered in debt with the racetrack and the stables. He killed himself. When his mother died in 1892, Junior, I'm sorry, over there, I'm pointing here, but Charles Shearer Jr. was the sole inheritor of an estate, and the public administrator contested his claim on the grounds that he was incompetent to manage the estate, being an opium and morphine addict. So this case went to court in 1892, and he was defended by Addison Hinkson, who was a famous lawyer at the time, and actually buried right next, I think, to Kirk behind us. Addison Hinkson was a famous lawyer of the time, and the newspaper described Charles Shearer as a thin, sallow-faced, lantern-jawed young fellow with brilliant eyes and an extremely nervous temperament. Junior admitted to smoking opium, and when he could not smoke it, he chewed it. He denied, however, that he was a hypomorphine fiend, and denied that his arms bore the scars of the hypodermic syringe. Junior insisted that he mingled in good society and did not hobnob with other opium fiends or dissolute persons. He did his smoking at home or in the Brown House, which I think was a high-class drug den, and only frequented Chinatown when he wanted to purchase the drug. Judge Van Fleet ruled that he could not deny young Shearer the right to administer his estate, administer it right into his arm or his nose. So he did inherit the estate. And, a couple more medicines that were big back then. Marmola was a diet medicine that was big. And it contained desiccated thyroid gland, which does make you lose weight, but it's not good for you to do that. There was a lot of other things that were inappropriate solutions, like Trilene was a weight loss medicine that was full of sugar. He was a pharmacist and a doctor. He had his own drugstore. And he was a public health officer, actually helped with the 1918 influenza epidemic, and helped stem that epidemic until he caught the influenza himself and had to retire. He retired to Amador County, where he became an assemblyman from Amador, and he was elected, went to the Capitol, and he had just given his first speech that day. But he had, I guess, a bad heart. He suffered through 2 hours of speech on budget debate, which is enough to kill anybody. even back then. And he fell ill, so he left the chambers and asked for a ride over to a drugstore a few blocks away. That was the Nev drugstore that is on the picture of the Nev drugstore is on the flyer next to the picture of Mr. Douglas. And so he got a ride 2 blocks away from the Capitol to the drugstore. He got out and he went in and he sat at the drugstore counter and asked for a glass of warm water and then promptly fell over dead. It was less than 2 blocks from the Capitol, and it was the drugstore was attached to the Senator Hotel, which is where all the senators would hang out and do backroom deals at the time. So word spread really fast. Everybody came from the Capitol and the Senator Hotel within minutes. They called his wife and his family. They came there. He was laying dead on the floor next to the soda fountain, and that was unseemly. A patrolman came by, organized a crowd, pushed him back, and moved the body to the back of the store behind the prescription counter. So Assemblyman Douglas ended up finally kind of where he had started from. And so do we. And that's the end of our tour. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. We have lots more stories like this. I didn't even get to fit in all these stories. And we invite you to come back here on your own. You know, what's that? Oh, donation box, yes. We do have an Iron Ranger up at the front that is bolted to the ground. You can put money in there if you like. Drugs, just hand them straight to me. But the money goes directly to the Cemetery Committee and the upkeep of the monuments and the plots and everything. And we're all volunteers. I'm not getting paid. Nobody here is getting paid. The city has one paid employee here at the cemetery. What's that? Oh, and the archives is open. The archives building that we passed earlier. If you want to look up a loved one or just interested in any of the stories that we told today, or anything else, or want to buy some water. So we have upcoming tours, like I said, every month. Morning tours like this, and we have several evening tours. I think April 19th, May 4th, 3rd, May 3rd, the musicians tour. So. Oh, June 13th, a tour with wine. Yes, please come to that too. Right. Friday the 13th. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 13 stories of bad luck. So, yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Eric.
May 3rd.